Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Nadisha. So glad you are here with us today on this Thursday evening. Listen, new levels, new devils. New levels equals new devils. You need to understand this, okay? So with all of that those trials and tribulations that you went through and the wilderness and all that training, those were training you, okay? Because what I know to be true through my own experience is that the enemy has no new tricks, okay? He just uses new people, okay? He uses different people and they all do the same things, okay? He don't have nothing new, all right? And so anyways, if you pay attention, you will stand at an advantage. If you pay attention and watch out for patterns, you will stay at an advantage, all right? So listen, new levels, new devils, all right? Okay, so parent and child, it's like a parent and child relationship, right? You know, you have this little baby, okay, baby stage, and they go through elementary stage, and then as they start getting older and older, you know, as a mother, as a parent, you know, you want to keep their innocence as long as possible, okay? And we shelter our kids from being exposed to too much too soon, right? You know, so I don't know how you guys raise your kids, but you want to monitor like the things they watch on TV and all that stuff, because you really want to keep them sheltered, right? Because you don't want to expose them. And it's almost like that's how God was with us, okay? That's how like God was with his chosen people, right? He like kept you sheltered, and he just kept you pure, and he just didn't want to introduce you to too much, all right? Because he knows that when you're being introduced to too much, it will open up your eyes, okay? And God didn't want you to see too much of the evil in this world. Like, we knew evil existed, but like he didn't want to like really just pull the wool from our eyes too early, right? So he just kind of kept us sheltered. But then, because God knows that he needs to elevate his people, he was just like, listen, I am sorry, baby girl. I'm sorry, boy. I'm sorry, sir. But you need to understand that I have to allow you to see some evil that's in the world, okay? God doesn't create evil. He doesn't cause evil, but he can allow us to see it, right? And so it's the same with a parent and a child. That's when you start having the sex talk with your teenager. You're like, I don't want to do it. Okay, we got to do it, you know? And it's like you're introducing them to sex. You're like, I feel like I'm introducing them. No, you're making them aware now, you know, because it's there, and you're making them aware, and you're talking about the risk and the this and that, okay? All of that. So it's the same. God sees you. He knows you are like pure and all this, and he knows that you are ignorant, and he knows that you are naive, and he's like, you are not ready for no level of elevation, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, sir, you are not ready. So I have to introduce you to some evil that's in the world. So for some of you guys, I just want you to take a different look on the evil that you came in contact with these last few years, okay? Just have a different perspective and know that sometimes God will allow these things to happen because it was a form of training, all right? So while you were down here at this level, right? While you were down here at this low level, God will allow you to see some evil, okay? And when you see the evil, yes, it was like, oh my gosh, was this always here? Did this always exist? Yes. He allowed people to see different forms of manipulation, different forms of narcissism, different forms of mind games, different forms of control, different forms of all of that, all right? And he will allow you to see that. He will expose you to that. He's just exposing you to all sorts of stuff, because God would rather you, while you're down here at this level, he wants to train you. He wants to equip you. He wants you put on the full armor type of stuff, okay? He wants you to be fully equipped, okay, with all the tools necessary for the job down here. Because even if you had to lose down here, you're so close to the ground anyways. You were so close to the ground that even if you were to lose, it's no big deal. Because God knows that when he elevates you, if you were not equipped with the knowledge is key and knowledge is power. If you weren't equipped with the knowledge, if you weren't equipped with the tools, okay, if you didn't put on the armor, if you didn't know what the patterns are that of manipulation that people uses, if you don't know what narcissism is, which is demonic, I believe, if you don't know what mind games are and manipulation and control and the foolishness that people do, especially to God's chosen people, because they're threatened, okay? If you don't know what that looks like, when God elevates you, you have more to lose. You have more to lose if you don't do it well. You have more to lose if you are not aware. You have more to lose if you are not equipped. You have more to lose if you are not prepared. You have a lot to lose. Think about it. God would rather you lose your 2 coins at this level down here versus your 10 coins, okay? Versus your 10 coins when he blesses you with the 10 coins up here. Okay, he's like, listen, while you're down here, while you're in this season, while you're at this place, I need you to learn what you need to learn. I need you to get what you need to get. Okay, I'm training you. I'm equipping you with all this, because when I elevate you, it's not like you're not going to see the devils anymore. They just go look different. Okay. You might have gotten introduced to Shelly down here, but the new devil is gonna be Derek or something up here, okay? And different names. No offense to the Derek and the Shellys, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing out names here, okay? But you need to be equipped. And so a lot of times when we get introduced to some evil stuff, is because God knows that we were too pure, like, or mind didn't go there, or mind wouldn't do that. And he's well aware. So he knows that even though you won't do it, he's like, it exists. I need you to know it exists. All right. So so just like with a parent, you have to have these hard conversations with your kids, because you want them to be equipped. You want them to be knowledgeable of what's out there. So that's where you have the drugs and the sex and all this stuff, all these talks with them, because you want them to be aware. So it's the same thing, guys. And another example he gave me is virus and vaccines. Don't come for me. This is what I'm not saying. I am not saying vaccines are great. I'm not saying you should take vaccines. I am not saying anything. I'm just giving you an example of virus and vaccines and how it works. Whenever there's a new virus that is threatening our society, right? A virus is threatening our society. They come up with a vaccine. And what the vaccine is the virus itself. So they introduce the body to the vaccine, right? And the body will remember what the virus is, right? So when the body comes in contact with the virus, okay, because the virus is out there in society. So when the body comes in contact with the virus, the body knows how to fight the virus off, because the body had gotten introduced ahead of time. So it's the same thing, guys. God will introduce you to some evil in the world. He'll introduce you to some crazy people. He'll introduce you to some toxicity on some high level, and you might think, why didn't you shelter me from this? And God's like, I can't keep sheltering you. I can't keep allowing you to be ignorant. I have to expose you to the truth. Okay? And that's what a lot of people have woken up to, the truth. Okay? It's almost like you were living this lie your whole life, and now you're woken up to the truth. And God is like, I had to introduce you to the truth. I had to pull the wool from your eyes. And you're like, oh my gosh. You know, and it was not easy, right? There were some people in your life, you're like, were you always like this? Were you always like this? Or did something happen to me? Okay, so that's just God's way of making sure you are equipped, okay? Because new levels, new devils. And at a higher level, like an eagle, you got a lot of people are going to be catapulted way far over yonder, okay? Like the levels is going to be high. And if you don't have your discernment game up, you're not gonna make it. If you're not armored and secure, you're not gonna make it. If you're not equipped, you're not going to make it. If you don't know patterns, if you don't know how to read people well, like, all of this is necessary. All of this is training. So I want you guys to just have a different perspective, a different outlook on what some of the evils that came into your midst and why they were there, okay? You know, because we can get into this place of like, you know, people this and people that, but see it as training. See it as training. They came into your life to train you, because if God didn't introduce it to you, you wouldn't know it exists. You wouldn't know it existed. And he has to do that before he elevates you. He has to make sure you have what it takes. Because when you are elevated, I am telling you, with everything, think about it. Job, he gave Job double, okay? He gave Job double for all his troubles. He gave Job double. So Job would have more to lose, right? Because he has double now. A lot of people are going to be getting double, triple, whatever, okay? You have more to lose if you're not wise. You have more to lose if you don't know how to strategize. You have more to lose if you don't know the cunning way the serpent likes to lurk his way in, and the wolves that wants to act like they're sheeps, okay? You will have more to lose, because God is giving a lot of his people double. Restoration, redemption, reimbursements, all of that is coming your way. But if you don't know what you're doing, you have a lot to lose. So all of that was training, guys. All of that was part of the plan to get you equipped. Because I'm telling you, the level of evil is eviling. The level of evil is, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just like how manipulative people are. That is what has like really has blown my mind, of just like how cunning and how manipulative and how fake people can be. And I'm like, OMG. So yeah, new levels, new devils. Okay, all of that was for your good. All of that was for your good. It was to train you. It was to equip you. So when God next level you, you have what it takes. You have what it takes because you've been trained. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You know, liking the channel allows the algorithm to do its thing, okay, and to send this video to more people. All right guys, thank you so much. Take care.